This video is about, she was just a cleaning lady until a rich woman changed everything. If this story inspires you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. In a bustling city, where skyscrapers touched the sky and dreams danced in the ether, lived a woman named Rosa. By day, she was just a cleaning lady, scrubbing floors and dusting shelves in a high-end office building. But beneath her unassuming exterior lay a heart full of dreams, flickering like a candle in the wind. Every morning, Rosa would rise before dawn, the sun still a sleepy orange glow on the horizon. She would prepare breakfast for her two children, Miguel and Isabella, who were the anchors of her life. "Ma'am, do we have to wake up so early?" Miguel would groan, rubbing his sleepy eyes. "Yes, my amor," Rosa would reply, placing a hand on his cheek. "A new day means new opportunities." It was a mantra she lived by, even as her own dreams often felt out of reach. With a kiss for both children, she'd gather her cleaning supplies, each clunk of the bucket a reminder of her responsibilities. Rosa didn't resent her job, she found pride in it. Every corner she polished, every surface she cleaned, felt like a small contribution to a world that often seemed indifferent. But the weight of her dreams grew heavier with each passing day. As the elevator doors opened at the office building, the scent of fresh coffee greeted her. Rosa adjusted her apron and stepped inside, her heart racing with the rhythm of hope and uncertainty. She started her routine, dusting desks, mopping floors, and sanitizing bathroom stalls. The occupants of the office rarely noticed her. She was an invisible thread woven into the fabric of their daily lives. "Hey," Rosa called out a young intern, Rachel, who always greeted her with a smile. "How is your day going?" Rosa returned the smile, wiping her brow. "Busy, as always, but it is a good busy." Rachel was a bright spot in the otherwise monotonous day. The two often exchanged small talk, and Rosa cherished those moments of connection. But the luxury of connection was fleeting. The office was a place of ambition, filled with suits and ties that felt worlds away from her own humble existence. The people around her were often consumed by their responsibilities, leaving little room for kindness. Rosa learned to navigate the bustling crowd, her heart aching for the camaraderie she observed but seldom felt. One fateful Wednesday, the winds of change began to stir. Rosa was cleaning the executive floor when she noticed a woman pacing anxiously outside the conference room. She was impeccably dressed, her designer heels clicking rhythmically against the marble floor. Rosa paused and sensed the weight of her distress. "Excuse me, do you need help?" Rosa asked, her voice gentle and warm. The woman, startled, turned to her. "Though I am just waiting for my turn to present, that is my first major pitch, and I am terrified." Rosa felt a wave of empathy wash over her. "It is okay to feel that way. Just take a deep breath. You've got this." The woman's face softened. "Thank you. I am Claire, by the way." "Rosa," she replied, her heart swelling with warmth. It wasn't every day she had the chance to connect with someone who seemed so distant from her world. As they talked, Claire shared her dreams and fears, her words pouring out like a stream of vulnerability. "I've worked so hard for this opportunity, but the pressure is overwhelming. What if I fail?" Rosa smiled, her eyes shining with encouragement. "Failure is just a stepping stone to success, Claire. Remember, every great achievement comes from overcoming challenges." Claire looked at her, a spark igniting in her eyes. "You have such a beautiful perspective. You should be proud of the work you do." The two women parted ways, but the encounter resonated deeply within Rosa. Little did she know, this moment would be the catalyst for a remarkable change in her life. That evening, as Rosa returned home, she shared the day's events with her children. Miguel and Isabella listened intently, their eyes wide with admiration. "Ma'am, you always make everything sound so magical," Isabella exclaimed, her tiny hands clasped in delight. Rosa chuckled, ruffling her daughter's hair. "It is all about how you look at things, my vida. You can choose to see beauty, even in the most mundane tasks." Days turned into weeks, and the encounter with Claire lingered in Rosa's mind. She often recalled Claire's eyes lighting up at her words of encouragement. It reminded her that kindness had the power to uplift, and perhaps it was time to believe in her own potential. One afternoon, while cleaning the break room, Rosa overheard a group of executives discussing a new project. The conversation was filled with complex jargon and ambitious plans. She paused, her heart racing as an idea sparked within her. "What if I could contribute something?" she whispered to herself. "What if I dared to share my thoughts?" With every passing day, the desire to express her ideas grew stronger. But fear still clung to her, wrapping around her heart like a heavy cloak. What if they dismissed her? What if they laughed? As fate would have it, Claire's company was preparing for a big expansion, and excitement buzzed in the air. One evening, as Rosa was finishing up her cleaning, she saw Claire deep in thought reviewing documents in the corner office. Rosa hesitated, her heart pounding, but the memory of their earlier conversation urged her to take a step forward. "Claire," she called out, her voice trembling slightly. Claire looked up, her expression shifting from surprise to warmth. "Rosa, what can I do for you?" I was wondering if I could share a few ideas I had about the project you're reworking on. It's probably silly, but..." Claire's eyes sparkled with encouragement. "Please, I'd love to hear what you have to say." As Rosa shared her thoughts, she felt a rush of exhilaration. Each word rolled off her tongue, fueled by passion and years of observation. She spoke about the importance of community engagement, suggesting ways to create partnerships that would benefit the company and the city. Claire listened intently, her eyes wide with interest. "Rosa, these ideas are incredible. You have a unique perspective that we could really use. Would you be willing to meet with the team and share this?" Rosa was taken aback. "Me? But I am just a cleaning lady." "No, you read so much more than that. You have insights that can make a difference," Claire insisted, her voice steady and sincere. That moment ignited a fire within Rosa. She felt a surge of confidence, a shift in her identity. In that bustling office where she had been invisible, she was now seen. Claire's belief in her ignited a resilience that had long been dormant, waiting for a chance to bloom. Rosa took a deep breath and nodded, determination replacing her doubts. I want to contribute." As she left the office that night, a new sense of purpose enveloped her. The path ahead was uncertain, but for the first time in years, Rosa felt a glimmer of hope. She realized her story was not just about cleaning, it was about connection, resilience, and the courage to dream. This was just the beginning. The journey ahead would be fraught with challenges, but she was ready to embrace them. With her children's laughter echoing in her heart, Rosa stepped into the unknown, eager to discover what possibilities awaited her beyond the confines of her daily routine. And thus, the story of Rosa, the cleaning lady, began to intertwine with a rich tapestry of aspirations and dreams, setting the stage for a transformative journey that would inspire not only her but all those who crossed her path. As the sun dipped below the skyline, Rosa found herself back at the office the next evening, her heart fluttering with anticipation and nerves. The air was thick with possibility as she stepped into the lobby, where the polished floors glistened under fluorescent lights. Today was the day she had decided to embrace her newfound potential. "Hey, Rosa." Rachel greeted her enthusiastically as she passed by. "You look different today. Excited about something?" Rosa managed a shy smile. "I suppose I am, Rachel. I have a meeting with some executives." "Wow, that is amazing. You'll do great," Rachel said, her voice brimming with encouragement. "Thank you." Rosa felt a warm swell in her chest. Perhaps she wasn't as invisible as she thought. As she ascended to the executive floor, she rehearsed her ideas in her mind, the words swelling like a dance. This was uncharted territory, and the familiar weight of self-doubt tugged at her. But as she thought of Miguel and Isabella, their bright futures and hopeful dreams, a spark of determination ignited her spirit. The conference room was filled with high-powered executives, their sharp suits stuck against the understated elegance of the room. Claire stood at the front, her confident demeanor a testament to the power of belief. As Rosa entered, all eyes turned toward her, and she felt the heat of anxiety wash over her. "Everyone, this is Rosa," Claire introduced, her voice warm and inviting. "She has some incredible ideas to share with us." Rosa took a deep breath, scanning the faces in the room. They were a mix of skepticism and curiosity, and she could feel the weight of their expectations. Hello everyone. Thank you for having me," she began, her voice steady but soft. "Have you been thinking about how our projects can better engage with the community?" The executives shifted in their chairs, some taking notes while others exchanged glances. She pushed through the uncertainty, allowing herself to speak from the heart. "We could create initiatives that not only benefit our company, but also uplift the neighborhoods we read in. Imagine hosting workshops or events that invite community members to share their ideas." As she spoke, the initial skepticism began to fade, replaced by intrigue. Claire nodded along, her smile encouraging. "That's an excellent point, Rosa. Engaging with the community can foster loyalty and goodwill." A tall executive leaned forward, brow furrowed in thought. "But how do we ensure these initiatives are effective? We need measurable outcomes." Rosa's heart raced. She had anticipated tough questions, but the challenge felt like a weight on her shoulders. "I believe the measure of success isn't only in numbers but in the relationships we build. We could conduct surveys, gather feedback, and adjust our projects based on community input." The room fell silent for a moment, and then another executive, a woman with sharp features, spoke up. I appreciate your perspective, Rosa. It is refreshing to hear ideas rooted in human connection. Rosa's confidence swelled, but she remained grounded, knowing she was still learning. As the discussion continued, she felt her ideas evolving, aligning with the company's vision while still holding true to her values. Thank you for your insights, Rosa. Would you like to consider your ideas further? Claire concluded, a warm smile gracing her face. Your perspective is invaluable. As Rosa left the room, elation coursed through her veins. She had spoken, and they had listened. For the first time, she felt like a vital part of something larger than herself. In the following weeks, Rosa's life transformed. She was invited to meetings, contributing ideas, and collaborating with the team. Each day brought new challenges, and while fear occasionally nipped at her heels, she was learning to navigate the ebb and flow of corporate life. Look at you, ma'am, Miguel exclaimed one evening as they sat down for dinner. You be so busy now, it's like you be a superhero. Rosa chuckled, ruffling his hair. You know, Mijo, even superheroes need to clean up messes now and then. She couldn't help but beam at her children's pride. Their encouragement fueled her resolve. But not every day was easy. The weight of her responsibilities grew heavier, and the struggle to balance work with home life began to wear on her. There were nights she stayed late at the office, returning home to find her children asleep. The guilt gnawed at her each missed bedtime like a small dagger of doubt. One evening, as she was packing up to leave, Claire approached her. Rosa, can we talk for a moment? Of course. Rosa replied, her heart racing at the thought of more responsibility. I've noticed how hard you've been working, and I want to remind you that it is okay to take a break. You can pour from an empty cup, Claire said, her voice gentle. Rosa sighed, gratitude mingling with fear. I just want to do well. I want to make a difference. And you are, Claire reassured her. But remember, your family needs you too. Balance is key. That night, Rosa reflected on Claire's words as she tucked Miguel and Isabella into bed. She realized she had been so focused on creating a better future for them that she had forgotten to fully be present in their lives. She decided it was time to intentionally carve out moments for her family amidst the chaos. She began to set boundaries at work, designating specific times for meetings and sticking to her cleaning schedule. Her colleagues noticed the change, and Rosa found herself advocating for the well-being not just of herself, but of her entire team. Let us ensure our workload is manageable so we can be at our best, she suggested during a meeting. Slowly, the office culture began to shift, embracing a more compassionate approach to work-life balance. Her resilience inspired others, and soon, they were brainstorming ways to integrate community engagement into their corporate identity. Words of affirmation flowed freely, creating a tapestry of support among her colleagues. Rosa, Rachel called out one afternoon as they took a break together. I heard the big boss wants to talk to you about spearheading a community outreach program. Rosa's heart raced at the thought. Really? Me? Absolutely, you deserve it. Your ideas have been a game changer, Rachel encouraged, her eyes shining with excitement. But with the thrill came a new wave of fear. What if I can handle it? What if I mess up? Rachel placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. You've got this, Rosa. Look how far you've come. Just be yourself. Rosa took a deep breath, grounding herself in the moment. She reflected on the journey she had taken, the obstacles she had overcome, and the strength she had discovered within herself. She realized that it was time to embrace this next chapter with open arms. When the meeting with the big boss arrived, Rosa felt a mix of nerves and excitement. As she entered the room, the atmosphere buzzed with anticipation. The discussion revolved around crafting impactful programs that nurtured community relationships and fulfilled the company's social responsibility. Rosa pitched her vision passionately, and to her delight, the big boss nodded along, engaged. Rosa, this is brilliant. I would love for you to lead this initiative. It could redefine our approach to corporate responsibility. Tears prickled at the corners of Rosa's eyes as she fought to maintain her composure. Thank you for believing in me. I won't let you down. As she left the meeting, the weight of her dreams settled softly on her shoulders, no longer a burden but a beacon of hope. The path ahead would be challenging, but Rosa felt equipped to navigate the waters. She had the support of her colleagues, the love of her children, and a newfound belief in herself. That evening, Rosa gathered her family for dinner, excitement bubbling in her chest. Guess what, my vida, I am going to lead a community project at work. Miguel's eyes widened. Wow, you're really a superhero, man. Rosa laughed, her heart full. And you can be superheroes too. We can all make a difference together. With the warmth of her children surrounding her, she realized that her journey wasn't just about her dreams, it was about inspiring others to chase theirs, creating a ripple effect of hope and resilience. As the world outside continued to swirl with challenges and uncertainties, Rosa knew that the beauty of the human spirit lay in its ability to rise, to connect, and to uplift one another. She was no longer just a cleaning lady, she was a catalyst for change, a voice for the unheard, and a proud mother who was determined to show her children the strength that comes from kindness, perseverance, and love. And so, with each passing day, Rosa's story unfolded like a beautiful tapestry, rich with threads of hope, resilience, and the indomitable spirit of a woman who dared to dream and inspire others along the way. Rosa stood at the window of her modest apartment, the city skyline shimmering in the fading twilight. It was a breathtaking view, yet it felt heavy with the weight of expectations she had set for herself. Leading a community project was no small feat, and the thought both thrilled and terrified her. "Ma'am, look, the moon is coming up," Isabella exclaimed, her tiny finger pointing toward the sky. The innocence in her daughter's eyes reminded Rosa that dreams were never too big or too small, they simply needed to be pursued. "Yes, my Vida, it is beautiful, just like you," Rosa replied, kneeling beside her daughter. "You know, the moon shines brightly because it reflects the sun's light. Just like us, we can shine when we let our light out into the world." Isabella giggled, her laughter echoing through the small home, but Rosa felt the usual flutter of anxiety in her stomach. She wanted to make a difference, not just in her life, but in the lives of others. Yet, the fear of inadequacy loomed over her like a thick fog. "Ma'am, are you okay?" Miguel asked, noticing his mother's distracted demeanor. His perceptive nature often caught her off guard, reminding her of the importance of transparency. Rosa took a breath, gathering her thoughts. "I am just thinking about the new project, Miguel. It is a big responsibility." He nodded, his young face serious. "But you've been working so hard, you can do it. You read like a superhero." His words filled her with warmth, a gentle reminder that she was not alone in her journey. "Thank you, my hero. Your support means everything to me. Let us work together to be superheroes for our community." The next morning, Rosa arrived at the office early, her heart pounding with excitement and nerves. She was determined to make a strong impression at the first meeting for the community outreach program. As she walked through the halls, she noticed the hustle and bustle of her colleagues, each consumed by their hectic lives. Yet, she no longer felt invisible, she was a part of something meaningful. "Hey, Rosa!" Rachel waved as she passed by. "Ready for today?" Rosa smiled, feeling a surge of confidence. I've got ideas to share, and I want to make a real difference." "You will, just remember to breathe," Rachel encouraged, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. As the clock struck 9, Rosa joined the team in the conference room, her heart racing. Executives filed in, taking their seats around the large table. Claire entered last, her presence commanding yet warm. "Good morning, everyone. Today, we're really excited to kick off our community outreach program, and leading the charge is Rosa." Rosa's cheeks flushed as all eyes turned to her. She stood up, feeling a mix of vulnerability and empowerment. "Thank you, Claire, and thank you all for being here today. Together, I believe we can create initiatives that will not only benefit our company, but also uplift our neighborhoods." She began to share her vision, her voice steady despite the fluttering in her stomach. "We could host workshops that teach skills, like resume writing or financial planning, inviting community members to share their knowledge and experiences." The executives listened attentively, some nodding. Encouraged, Rosa continued, "And we could partner with local schools to sponsor after-school programs. Investing in our youth is investing in our future." As she spoke, the initial skepticism began to dissolve, replaced by intrigue. The room buzzed with ideas as executives began contributing to the discussion, building on Rosa's suggestions. When the meeting concluded, applause filled the room, and Rosa felt tears prick at the corners of her eyes. "Thank you, everyone. I am so grateful for your support," she said, her voice thick with emotion. This moment was not just a personal victory, it was a collective step toward positive change. "Rosa, you did fantastic." Claire beamed, wrapping her arm around her shoulder. "I can see your passion shining through." "I couldn't have done it without your encouragement, Claire," Rosa replied, her heart swelling with gratitude. "It feels as though we were really onto something special." In the weeks that followed, the outreach program blossomed, and Rosa poured every ounce of her energy into it. However, the demands of her new role began to take a toll. Late nights at the office turned into missed family dinners, and guilt bubbled beneath her resolve. One evening, as she returned home to find her children asleep, a wave of sorrow washed over her. She tiptoed into their room, watching them nestled under blankets, their faces peaceful. "I am so sorry, my loves," she whispered, pressing a kiss to their foreheads. The next morning, Miguel greeted her with a sleepy smile. "Ma'am, when will you be home for dinner again? I miss you." Rosa's heart sank. "Soon, Mijo, I promise. I am working hard for us." "But what about today?" he asked, his innocent eyes searching for reassurance. Rosa realized she needed to change. "You were right, Miguel. How about we have a picnic dinner tonight? Just us, right here." His face lit up, and she felt a warmth spread through her. "Yes, I can help." As she prepared for their picnic that evening, Rosa felt a renewed sense of purpose. She needed to find a balance between her responsibilities and her family to show her children that hard work could coexist with love and connection. Later that night, as they sat on the living room floor with homemade sandwiches and fresh fruit, Miguel and Isabella laughed, their voices echoing with joy. "This is the best dinner ever, ma'am." Isabella squealed, her eyes sparkling. "Ma'am, you are the best superhero." Miguel added, his admiration filling the room. Rosa's heart swelled with pride. In that moment, she understood that being a superhero didn't just mean achieving greatness at work. It meant being present and nurturing the bonds that mattered most. She vowed to create space for her family in her busy life. As the outreach program progressed, Rosa's initiatives began to have a tangible impact. She organized a community event where families gathered to learn and share. The day was filled with laughter, connection, and camaraderie, and the success of the event filled Rosa with immense satisfaction. "Rosa, this is incredible," Claire said, her voice brimming with excitement as they surveyed the bustling scene. "You've brought so many people together." "I can't believe how much we've accomplished," Rosa replied, her heart racing with joy. "This is just the beginning." Yet, amidst the success, challenges arose. Not everyone was on board with the program, and a few executives expressed skepticism about the company's investment in community engagement. "We need to focus on profit, not charity," one of them remarked during a board meeting. Rosa felt the weight of their words, and doubt crept in. What if they were right? What if I am just wasting everyone else's time? She wondered, her heart heavy. "Rosa, don't forget why we started this," Claire reminded her after the meeting. "It is about building relationships, not just numbers. You've already made a difference in so many lives." As Rosa reflected on Claire's words, she recalled the faces of community members she had met, their stories weaving into the fabric of her own. She realized that the impact extended beyond the boardroom. It was about real lives, real connection. With newfound determination, Rosa rallied her team, emphasizing the importance of community engagement. Together, they crafted a presentation that highlighted the tangible benefits of their initiatives, increased brand loyalty, improved employee morale, and a stronger company image. The day of the presentation arrived, and as Rosa stood before the board, she felt empowered. Our outreach program is not just an expense, it is an investment in our future. By fostering genuine connections, we are creating a network of support that can uplift our community and our business. The executives, initially skeptical, began to shift in their seats. Rosa's passion was palpable. She spoke from her heart, using stories and data to demonstrate the impact of their work. When she concluded, a palpable energy filled the room. "Thank you, Rosa," the lead executive said, a hint of respect in his voice. "You've given us a lot to consider." As the meeting wrapped up, Rosa felt an exhilarating sense of hope. They may have started as doubters, but through her resilience and belief in their mission, she had opened the door to new possibilities. In the weeks that followed, the program gained traction, and their initiatives flourished. Rosa found herself at the helm of something much bigger than she had ever anticipated, her vision becoming a reality. And through it all, she never lost sight of her family. She made a point to be home for dinner, to share stories of her day, and to listen to Miguel and Isabella's dreams. Their laughter filled their home, reminding her of the precious gift of connection. One night, as they sat together under the stars in their small backyard, Miguel asked, "Ma'am, do you think I can be a superhero too?" Rosa smiled, pulling him close. "Of course you can, my love. Superheroes come in all shapes and sizes, and you already have a big heart. Just remember to shine your light wherever you go." As she spoke those words, she realized that the beauty of her journey was not just in her achievements, but in the lessons she was imparting to her children. The resilience, courage, and kindness they were witnessing. The days felt like they flowed into one another, the rhythm of life echoing with the heartbeat of Rosa's determination. As the community outreach program began to flourish, she threw herself into every aspect, pouring her heart into making real connections that would uplift both the company and the neighborhoods they served. Yet even amidst the success, the shadows of doubt sometimes crept in. One rainy afternoon, while sitting at her desk, Rosa stared at the stacks of reports piled high before her. She had spent countless hours planning events, conducting meetings, and reaching out to community leaders. But as she sifted through the data, uncertainty began to gnaw at her. What if this is just a flash in the pan? She whispered to herself. What if it all falls apart? Hey, Rosa, you okay? Claire's voice broke through her reverie, and Rosa looked up to see her friend and mentor standing in the doorway, concern etched on her features. Rosa forced a smile. I am fine, just thinking about the program's future. Claire stepped inside, leaning against Rosa's desk. Thinking is good, but I can see that look. You are feeling overwhelmed, aren't you? A sigh escaped Rosa's lips. Maybe a little. I just want to make sure this isn't a one-time success. I want it to last. Her voice trembled slightly, revealing the vulnerability she usually kept tucked away. Claire softened, understanding. You've already laid a strong foundation. Growing something meaningful takes time, and it won't always be easy, but remember, the impact you're making is real. Look at how many lives you've touched already. Rosa nodded, but doubt still lingered like a cloud overhead. What if the executives decide to pull funding? What if they don't see the value in what we were doing? Then we'll all show them the value. You and I both know that numbers can measure the depth of human connection. Claire's words were resolute, filling Rosa with a sense of determination. Let us plan for a community showcase. We can demonstrate the program's success through stories, testimonials, and tangible results. Great idea. Rosa felt a flicker of hope return. We could invite community members to share their experiences, they could showcase their skills, and we could create a space for them to connect with the company. Excitement bubbled within her, and as they brainstormed, the weight of doubt began to lift. They immersed themselves in planning the showcase, crafting invitations, organizing logistics, and rallying support from both the company and the community. As the date of the showcase approached, the excitement morphed into a whirlwind of activity. Rosa spent countless hours at the office, often returning home late. But this time, she was fueled by a sense of purpose, a mission that transcended her initial fears. Ma'am, you home? Isabel exclaimed one evening, her small arms wrapping around Rosa's waist. I am here, my vida, Rosa replied, kneeling to return the embrace. I've missed you both so much. Miguel joined in, his face beaming. Did you bring us anything? Rosa chuckled, holding up a couple of simple pastries she had picked up from a nearby bakery. Just a little treat. I want to celebrate all the hard work we've been doing. Isabella's eyes sparkled with excitement. Can we help with the showcase? Of course, I need my little superheroes with me, Rosa said, ruffling both their hair. It was a simple moment, but it filled her with warmth. Over the next few days, the children assisted her in making posters, decorating the event space, and preparing presentations. They worked together, laughter echoing through the small apartment as they brainstormed ideas and shared their dreams. On the evening of the showcase, the community center buzzed with anticipation. Residents trickled in, their faces lighting up as they connected with one another, sharing stories and experiences. Rosa felt a surge of pride as she watched her vision come to life. Welcome, everyone, she announced, her voice steady but filled with emotion. Tonight, we're here to celebrate our community and the power we have when we work together. As the evening unfolded, community members shared their skills, musicians strummed guitars, artisans displayed their crafts, and local chefs offered delicious samples of their culinary creations. The room was alive with laughter and joy, a testament to the connections Rosa had hoped to foster. After the performances, she invited several participants to share their stories. One woman, Maria, spoke about how the program had helped her find a job after being unemployed for months. Thank you, Rosa, for believing in us, she said, her voice trembling with emotion. We are more than what we've been through. This program has given us hope. Tears pricked at the corners of Rosa's eyes as Maria's words resonated deeply within her. The ripple effect of their collective efforts was unfolding right before her, a beautiful tapestry of resilience woven together by the threads of human connection. But as their applause echoed through the room, Rosa caught sight of a few executives standing to the side, their expressions guarded. A pang of anxiety hit her. She had thought they would be moved by the showcase, yet their skepticism loomed like a dark cloud. Later that evening, Claire approached Rosa, her expression thoughtful. You did a phenomenal job tonight. The community really came alive. Thank you, Claire, but I can appreciate the feeling that it wasn't enough, Rosa admitted, her shoulders sinking under the weight of self-doubt. Rosa, you can measure success by the reactions of a few people. Look at the joy in this room, the connections being made. That is what matters, Claire replied. Rosa nodded, but uncertainty still clouded her thoughts. I just hope the executives see it too. In the days that followed, feedback began to trickle in, ranging from enthusiastic praise to hesitant skepticism. Rosa found herself pacing in front of her desk, stomach churning as she awaited a meeting with the executives to discuss their takeaways from the showcase. When the meeting finally arrived, Rosa could feel her heart racing in her chest. She took a deep breath, her palms clammy as she prepared to present the results and stories gathered from the event. Thank you all for coming, she began, forcing her voice to remain steady. Tonight was a celebration of community connections, but it is more than just a feel-good event. We have tangible data showing increased engagement and interest from community members in our outreach program. The room was silent as she presented the statistics, but she could feel the skepticism radiating from the executives. I understand the focus is on numbers, but I urge you to consider the human element. The stories shared tonight are a reflection of the change we can create together. One executive, a formidable woman with a reputation for being critical, leaned forward. Rosa, while I appreciate the enthusiasm, we need to prioritize our bottom line. Can you guarantee that these initiatives will yield profits? Change doesn't happen overnight, Rosa replied, her voice steady. But we are building relationships that can lead to long-term loyalty and trust. Investing in our community is investing in our future success. Perhaps we should consider a pilot program, see if the impact continues, Claire suggested, her voice warm but authoritative. Rosa nodded, feeling the tide shifting slightly. That would be a great start. A smaller initiative could help justify our investment while maintaining the community connection we've rebuilt. The discussion continued, and as Rosa listened to her colleagues, she felt a wave of hope wash over her. They were beginning to see the potential. When the meeting concluded, the executives promised to revisit the idea but maintained a cautious stance. As she left the room, Claire caught her eye, a proud smile on her face. You did well, Rosa. They were starting to come around. I just hope it is enough, Rosa replied, her heart still heavy with uncertainty. Trust the process and trust yourself. You've come so far, Claire reminded her. That evening, Rosa returned home, exhausted yet hopeful. As she entered the apartment, she was greeted by the familiar sound of laughter. Miguel and Isabella were playing a game on the floor, their energy infectious. Ma'am, look what we made, Miguel exclaimed, holding up a poster he had been working on. Rosa knelt beside them, her heart swelling with love. What is it, Mijo? It is a superhero poster. You are superhero. Isabella chimed in, her eyes shining with excitement. Tears pricked at the corners of Rosa's eyes. You both are my superheroes. Thank you for believing in me. As they sat together, sharing stories and laughter, Rosa realized that her journey was about more than just the outreach program. It was about nurturing her family, showing her children what it meant to dream and to fight for those dreams. In the days that followed, the executives agreed to initiate a pilot program, and Rosa felt a renewed sense of purpose. She was determined to make it a success, not just for herself but for the community that had embraced her vision. As the program launched, she poured her heart into every detail, involving community members in every step. The energy was electric, each day bringing new connections and opportunities. One afternoon, while coordinating an event, Rosa received a call from a local newspaper interested in covering their outreach initiatives. We want to highlight the positive impact you're making in the community, the reporter said. Rosa felt a rush of excitement.